Hi, just give me a second. I'm just doing a thing. Good God. Yes, here's the thing. Anyways, hello, hi. We are gonna be reading some Reddit posts today. Oh, good God, man. Hey, man, what's up? Everything's good. I'm just gonna pin this. Okay. Right. Now I can pay attention. Shut the fuck up, AC. I swear to God. I can't deal with this shit anymore. Anyways. Hi guys. Hello. Welcome to today's stream. Firstly, I'm so sorry for delaying this. I started a new job recently. It's been like 3 days. And I've had a hard time trying to balance like work and like streaming, and sometimes like streaming gets pushed back because of that, because my work hours are also like very odd at the moment since I'm at my training period, so I have to match it with my trainer, and my trainer lives abroad. So I start working at like 4 a.m. my time and finish only by like 11 or 12. So I sleep very late, and if I sleep late I wake up late. It's just a whole thing. But anyways, we are gonna be reading some Reddit posts today, reacting to them, and wondering, how do people get so weird so fast? That'll be fun. Anyways, let me just set up some music, because we're obviously not gonna be playing in silence. That's weird. Also for tomorrow's stream, I might delay it a little more than just till 11:30 because I have to go out in the morning. I'll be back late, so I'll sleep late. So it's probably gonna be after 12 a.m. Just saying. I just want to be like, I thought I'd just let you guys know right now itself instead of tomorrow. So anyways, okay. Wait, what is this? Why do I have this open? Go away. Shoo, shoo. Okay. Okay. We shall switch these on. And we shall have some music. Good. Also, I'm gonna increase the desktop audio a bit because I was like listening to my last stream and I could barely hear anything on that, like game wise, which is sad because I could barely hear the venti French redeems. And oh my god, I looked into other Genshin Impact character redeems. Venti French is definitely the best, but I found an French Ito one in like a meme compilation video, and it was so funny, but I can't find like the single just the French Ito one. So I'm gonna look for that. I'm gonna add that, and I'm gonna also add another one. I'm not gonna share which one it is, but I have a few in mind now. Oh god, it's gonna be fun. Venti French is definitely my best, my favorite, but still.
Bonjour, you fucking
Frenchito is so good. Also, okay, I thought I'd let you guys know now itself. Next month, September, I'm gonna have my birthday, so I'm gonna try and do a birthday stream, and I'm gonna add some fun redeems just for that as well. Obviously, I can't do like a full day stream or anything because I do have other obligations, but I'm gonna try my best to like make it a longer one. But yeah, we're gonna have some fun. So anyways, let's get started, children. So today we're doing like a family edition. At first, I just thought that maybe we could just like leave it to parents, but I thought, why just leave it to parents? Why not just expand our scope beyond parents into uncles and aunts, because they can be assholes too. We're gonna start with mom, then we're gonna move to dad, then uncle, aunt, maybe niece and nephew if we have the time, and then just family. Yeah, we're gonna have some fun, kids. Kind of, I don't know, we'll see. Okay, this is, do we have something that has not been judged yet? Ooh, what is this? This hasn't been judged. It's only 6 hours. Let's give this a try. Okay. Am I the asshole for shrugging off my dad's wife being excluded by my mom's friends? God. Okay. My dad and Rebecca have been married since I, 16M, was 7 and my sister, 15F, was 6. Quick background, my parents were not divorced when my mom died, but they were going through a divorce. When they first separated, it was because my mom had changed a lot and was undiagnosed with brain cancer at the time, which had caused a lot of behavioral changes. I still remember how big those changes were. That diagnosis came just before she died. When my parents were separated, Dad met Rebecca and they got married 3 months after my mom died. They pushed the wedding up since they were no longer waiting for the divorce. Oh, that's not nice. Like, listen, even if like you're separating with your spouse for whatever reason, getting married to somebody else, and in this situation, like this reason is very traumatic for your children especially, and you get married 3 months after your spouse dies. Dude, that's not cool. Rebecca has always had a very negative perception of mom because dad has told her about her behavior before they separated. She said our mom was a bad parent and she would make sure we know what a good mom looks like. Oh no. Oh honey, no. That's not okay. From almost the beginning of their marriage, she called herself our mom. Years later, I found out she knew back when she married my dad that she couldn't have kids of her own. My sister and I have never liked Rebecca because of the stuff she says about mom. Dad knows how we feel, and after he did some therapy, he would tell her to stop. But he also told us that we should understand that Rebecca loves us and feels like we deserve the best, and she might say the wrong things because of that sometimes. With all that out of the way, I can explain the problem. I have a pretty big friend group. 6 of the moms of my friends have made their own little mom group where they can get together and vent and hang out. I think sometimes they use it to plan who'll host something or will volunteer to chaperone some things. The moms in the group all know my sister and do not consider Rebecca our mom, and that we dislike her. My sister is also part of the friend group, so they know her feelings too. Rebecca wanted to join the group so many times over the years and was always kept out. Then a month ago, Rebecca actually approached the moms when she saw them out for coffee together and asked why she was never welcomed in. They told her she was not a mom and so they weren't going to include her. She argued back that she's mine and my sister's mom. They said we say it differently and that our opinion matters more. They also told her that they were never going to make things uncomfortable for the kids by including her, since it would mean she would be around the friend group for certain group stuff we've done together. Rebecca went over dinner to us about it and I shrugged off when she asked what I had to say. The truth is, I don't feel the tiniest bit bad that she's been excluded, but she was pissed and Dad told me to be kinder. Yeah, no, I don't think you're the asshole. I feel like Rebecca is like coming into this situation in like the worst way possible, because like you cannot insult somebody's mother, and especially like after they've gone through something so difficult, and then go like, oh, I'm gonna be a better mom. Like, dude, no, you can't. That's not how this works. And I feel like the dad here is also at fault, because he like clearly he told Rebecca some shit about the mom, knowing full well that like all her behavioral changes came because of brain cancer. Like, what the hell? I feel like he was trying to get sympathy for himself. Like, oh, look at me, I went through something so horrible, please love me, please be sympathetic towards me and not anybody else. Which is so messed up. Like, this whole situation is so messed up. Like, what do you mean you got married 3 months after your wife passed? Like, your ex-wife passed away. Is this normal in the States? Like, I don't know. Like, this is so messed up. Like, OP is definitely not the asshole. Yeah, not the asshole. Your friends' mothers get to choose who's in their group and who they keep out. Since you and your sister, even after 9 years of being married to your mother, or to your father, Since you and your sister, even after 9 years of her being married to your father, continue to dislike your stepmom, that is an important consideration for them. No one can force you to like someone who had bad-mouthed your biological mother. That is between you and her. I mean, good God. Yep, Dad is definitely had fault. Rebecca still shouldn't have said those things. Yeah, exactly, Rebecca. What the fuck is wrong with you? It's not normal. This is just messy. I mean, there is no way that Rebecca doesn't know that the mother had a brain tumor and that it's the brain tumor that led to her behavioral changes. Rebecca is just like trying to weasel her way into their family and be like, oh, but I'm the better parent, so you should, like me more, which is like, girl, calm down. That is such a weird, that's such weird behavior. Yeah, OP's not the asshole. Rebecca and the dad, 100%. What the fuck is wrong with you, Rebecca? Who acts like this? Not the asshole. Not sure where she got this, but talking shit about her dad mother in front of her children isn't going to score points. It doesn't even sound like that she apologized for her bad behavior. Yeah, and the way the dad just kind of lets it pass, like, I've told her to stop, but she may not, so you guys just have to deal with it. Like, nobody should have to deal with that. That's such a toxic environment you're creating for your children, especially after they've gone through such a big loss in their life. I would think you would be more supportive, but considering you got married 3 months after your ex-wife passed away, and that they used her death as a reason to get married even faster. They were like, oh, she passed away, we can definitely get married now, which is like, nope, that's so gross. What is wrong with people? Let's move on from this one. Okay, let's see, what is at top? Am I the asshole for telling my daughter it is extremely selfish to want her mom at the wedding? Ooh. Why cannot the mom be at the wedding? I feel like the dad never actually told her to stop, or behind closed door encouraged it. Yeah, there is possibility, because he's so casual about this whole thing that, oh yeah, I won't do it, but she might do it, and you just have to deal with it. Like, sir? Okay, let's see. Am I the asshole for telling my daughter it is extremely selfish to want her mom at the wedding? Boy. I'm gonna put this on in bold. A concussion is a brain injury, swelling of the brain, not a headache. I can't believe I have to say that. What? What? Why are we starting with this? Oh no, dear. My son told me to come here, though I have been on YouTube and most recently the Alien Reddit account. My daughter is getting married in a week. My wife got in an accident a week ago. She has a bad concussion and her foot is in a cast now. It could have been so much worse. The main problem is the concussion. She cannot deal with any loud noises, bright lights, and gets overwhelmed easily. Her foot makes it really hard for her to move around right now. We talked it over and we came to the conclusion she can't go to the wedding. It would cause her way too much pain to be around that many people, and we can't ask everyone to be quiet at a wedding. We figured a FaceTime call would work for the main ceremony. Okay. We told our daughter and she didn't take it well. We had a big argument which my wife had to leave due to her head hurting. I told her I will still be there and she can watch it on FaceTime so she won't miss it. That didn't go over well either. She uninvited me to the wedding if my wife won't be there. I told her she's extremely selfish. She wants her mom at the wedding since she knows about the accident. She hasn't talked to me since, and I'm wondering if we should stick to the decision or have my wife go, even though it's going to be awful for her. I was told to include it as a mountain wedding. Why are some people so damn selfish? Yeah, obviously, your wedding day is special and everything, and I won't take that away from the daughter. But you also have to understand that there are circumstances that can make it difficult for some people to attend, and not having your mom there is definitely difficult. But dude, she's injured. It's not like she's missing the wedding because she wants to. It's something she can't help. Are you saying that your wedding day is so much more special that you would rather your mom be there in pain? Obviously it's a wedding, there's going to be noise, there's going to be lights. What the hell is wrong with some people? I don't understand. I've heard so many stories of brides specifically who kind of just lose their minds. They can be the nicest people, but when it comes to their wedding, they just become horrible. And I have to just wonder, have they always been horrible and just hiding it, or do weddings just bring out the worst in people? Because you're literally telling your mom, I don't give a fuck if you're in pain, I don't give a fuck if you had an accident, you have to be at my wedding because if you don't show up, I'm gonna ruin this relationship between us. That's your mom. What's wrong with you? I mean, it's sad that she won't be there, but good God. Let's see. Edited, not the asshole. I can understand why your daughter would want her mom at the wedding, and I also understand why it's overwhelming and too much for your wife to attend. I don't understand why you can't compromise. Can your daughter have a dim or candlelit vows with an announcement before to keep the noise level low due to mom's concussion? Then you could wheelchair your wife in just for the vows and then leave. I mean, that seems so inconvenient, and just because you tell people to keep it low, keep the voice down level low, doesn't mean they will. Your daughter needs to understand that she may not have a perfect wedding in her head. I don't know what that means, but she would have all her loved ones for the vows. And as for the wife, I know everything seems overwhelming right now, but imagine how she would feel in a year that she didn't see her daughter get married. As far as you telling your daughter she is selfish, yes, that's what children are, selfish in wanting their parents, and especially during big moments of their life. Talk to each other and see if there's something you guys can work out. This is such a weird comment, and I know that this person edited it just to say that yeah, it's impossible, but the whole compromise also doesn't seem to work, because that's really expecting a lot from somebody who's extremely injured. Brain injuries aren't a small thing. That would mean she would have to change her wedding at the last minute. It would be a ton of money for her to go for that. My wife also can't drive right now, so if she leaves right after, I need to leave too. The designation is not good for Destination is not good for a wheelchair. It's a mountain wedding. There are a lot of reasons it's just a bad idea. That's why a FaceTime call was our best solution. Yes, let's take somebody who has a concussion and put them in sunglasses and headphones. What? Why are people so weird about weddings? Okay, let's scroll down and see what other weird comments there are. Oof, these are all responses. Yes, child. Why have you raised your hand? No, the asshole, I would edit the post so people are aware that your daughter wants to get married on a mountain. So no, your wife and with a broken foot and a concussion should not be going to the wedding. Your daughter's actually acting really selfish. Honestly, I would just not go to the wedding then and explain to people why you and your wife are not there. If they inevitably ask, so the rest of your family can see how selfish your daughter is being. For everyone saying that the location doesn't matter, it absolutely matters, okay? Not only will it be hard for her to go up to a mountain with a wheelchair, but it's also confirmed that high altitudes can trigger effects that lead to post-concussion headache and brain swelling. That's serious shit. You do not go into high altitudes with a concussion. As other commenters have stated, it's not just a headache, it's a serious head injury. Headache? Why would you think a concussion is a headache? What did you do, child? Why is someone trying to file a police report against you? God damn. Not the asshole, someone's safety and well-being is infinitely more important than a wedding. It's natural for your daughter to be disappointed, but uninviting you is extremely selfish. They aren't. Even concussions are a lot more serious than most people think. I know of a student that died from it when I went to school, so they had to explain that to us. Yeah, this is so weird. Like, I think in this day and age, most people would know that a concussion is serious. How are people on Reddit still thinking that it's just a headache? I feel like when it comes to Reddit, people are so, like, people will jump to find a reason to kind of blame the parents instead. Like, be like, oh, it's your fault, it's the parents' fault and not the kid's fault. Like, I've seen it happen quite a lot, so like this definitely looks like that. Like, oh, maybe you have a brain injury, but you're not gonna attend your daughter's wedding. You can't find a compromise. Yeah, they did find a compromise. The compromise is the FaceTime. Nope, not good enough. You should be there. Risk it. Just risk it. Good God, Reddit, what is wrong with you? Yeah, definitely not the asshole. This person though, Sir, Zookeeper007, what's wrong with you? Damn, okay, anyways. What is this? 2 pet cows, and due to it being hot at night, we usually let them out at night, and I saw a drunk man beat one. What the hell? Let's refrain from beating up people next time. Like, yeah, I understand, like, that's your pet cow and stuff, so that's why you got angry. I too would get angry, but next time let's directly call the police and not get ourselves into trouble, because you won't be underage forever, child. Okay, I'm gonna drink some water and then we shall move on to this one. Seems interesting. Okay, let's see. Am I the asshole for leaving when my mom forced me, 22 male, to meet my daughter? Oh my god, your mom forced you to meet your own child? Damn, what a horrible thing you've had to go through. I hate some people so much. Hi guys, this is my first post and English isn't my native language. So earlier this year, a girl I once hooked up with texted me and told me she has a 1-year-old daughter and I might be the father. I don't want to believe her, but we took a paternity test and it turned out I really am the father. She didn't tell me she was pregnant. She didn't even tell me when my daughter was born. No, she only told me when my daughter was a 1-year-old. This and other circumstances led me to not wanting anything to do with her and my daughter. Of course, I will pay child support, but she didn't give me any chance to bond with her. But my mother loves children and immediately got in contact with the mother and met the child. They've been very close and meeting regularly. I have no problem with that at all. I just don't want to meet her myself. Okay, so now to the story. My mom broke her foot and needs help at home, so I moved back in to support her. I helped her with her cats and with food and household stuff. A few days ago, I met with a friend and came home very late and slept until 1 p.m. when I was woken up by some voices coming out of my mom's bedroom. Mind you, she doesn't have a door and I'm sleeping in the living room, also without a door. So I listened to the voices and it was the mother and my child. I didn't want to meet them, see them, hear them, or whatever. I was so mad that my mom would do this to me without waking me up so I can leave. I just got up and left the house. Later that day, I got an angry text from my mom and my grandma saying that I'm a horrible son for just leaving. My grandma said some hurtful stuff about me being like my father. I'm so confused right now. Am I really the asshole for just leaving because she invited 2 people I didn't want to see? Let me clear up a few things. Yes, we use protection. I'm not 100% sure about my choice. I just need more time. I get that my daughter is here now, but I need more time to prepare myself as I didn't get 9 months like the mother of my child. My father was in my life, but was a shitty dad, and that's why I don't want to rush a decision. I think it would be better for her daughter to not have me present instead of me just not being good enough for her. I slept so long because I was talking to my friend for so long, not drinking or stuff like that. It was a Saturday. Abortion in my country is legal. I did too. I've made up my mind. I want to meet her. I'll update once I met her. Ew, this is okay, before people freak out, I just want to say I do get where he's coming from because again, he wasn't told at all about this situation. Like he didn't know that he was going to have a child or anything like that. It was just kind of sprung on him. Again, that's like and obviously the mother has her own choice because that is her body. So whether she wants to keep the child or not, that's completely up to her. But I feel like she should have told the dad beforehand so he could at least mentally prepare himself instead of going like, hey, remember me? Yeah, we have a kid together now, because that can just shake, having a child is not a small thing. That can literally shake up the entire foundation of your life. And the thing is, I don't see why his mother is being so pushy about them meeting. Don't spring that on somebody. But obviously he should step up and take responsibility, because at the end of the day, that is your kid, and just paying child support is not enough. Especially as someone who has had a bad experience with your own father, you should strive to ensure that your daughter doesn't go through that. And being an absent father is no better than being a bad father. An absent father is a bad father. Let's be clear about that. Just because you don't yell at your kids and are horrible to them doesn't mean that, you can just disappear and not be part of their life, because they would feel that absence. Obviously, the child is going to be like, where is my father? Why is he not here in my life? I feel like everyone's even, I know, but I also don't like the fact that his mother kind of sprung that on him. She could have just told him. I can understand why he kind of just left, because when you're backed into a corner like this, you are bound to freak out. So she could have just told him that, hey, she's coming over tomorrow, and given him that choice. I feel like he deserves to have that choice. I don't know, am I being too sympathetic towards this guy? Let's see, I'm sure Reddit has some things to say. Of course. You can bond with a 1-year-old. Your objection is arbitrary. Fuck my life. If you don't want to be in your kid's life, be honest about that, accept the consequences of that. But he is being honest about that, isn't he? He did say that he doesn't feel like he could be a good father, and that's why he's not in her life. I'm not sure where this is coming from. Respectfully, I disagree. OP said child support will be paid, and so as long as it's paid, he does not have to be involved. His mom and grandmother are wrong for pushing this, but the biggest asshole is the baby mom for hiding this for so long. Fulfilling your legal obligations doesn't make you immune to being an asshole, it makes you not a criminal. It's his child whether the mother is a good person or not. Edited. Yes, the mother is not in the right for keeping him out of the loop for a year. The situation sucks. It sucks that he has a kid that he doesn't want, but regardless, he has a kid. It's born, it's here, and pretty soon the kid is gonna have big feelings about the situation. I'm not saying I don't understand OP's feeling. The situation is extremely overwhelming, and he didn't hear anything for a year. But that kid is gonna be hurt over this. It will be a result of OP's choice not to be in his life. OP is not a demon, this is a judgment sub. Writing all this here because of some comments I'm getting seems a lot of you don't even think he should pay child support. I feel like, yeah, this is one thing about Reddit that I've noticed, that judgments become so one-sided that you're either on the side of the kid or you're on the side of the parent. It can't be that you understand both sides and understand where both people are coming from. My guy, what did you say? Anyways, yeah, I feel like there has to be like a balance, especially in this particular situation, because oh, okay, is that oh god, did Streamlabs, okay, yeah, I'll fix that. Yeah, I feel like there should be a balance in this particular situation, because obviously OP having a child is overwhelming, especially when it's kind of just sprung on you. Like, definitely the birth mother of the child should have told OP what was happening beforehand and given him, like, let him prepare for what was to come instead of just springing it on him at the last. I don't know what she was thinking by doing that, because either you wanted him to know or you didn't want him to know, which is like, it could be that she changed her mind because being a single parent is not easy, and taking care of a child all on your own is also not easy. So it could be that she changed her mind, which is absolutely okay, but she still should have given OP a chance to kind of come to terms with things, because it doesn't seem like he's had that chance at all. We don't know, like, do we know exactly how much time has passed since the kid came into his life? I mean, I can assume it's been a few months at most. And yes, obviously OP needs to be a better father, but I also kind of get where OP is coming from. I feel like in this situation especially, OP's mom is being the asshole by trying to manipulate him into meeting the kid. Like, if you want OP to be a better father, you can have that discussion with him, can't you? You can talk to him and, like, let him know your feelings about the matter, which would help him make a decision faster. But the mother decided not to talk to him about it and just spring it on him, which is even worse. Like, did she think I don't know what was going through her mind. Did she think that, oh, if he saw the kid, he would just be like, oh my god, is this my child? Let me love her forever. Because that's not how this works. That's like a movie thing. It's not like a real life people thing. I think everyone's the asshole in this situation. OP needs to be a better father, obviously. The birth mother should have been honest, and OP's mom should not have manipulated him. Yeah, I don't think you're being oversympathetic. He wasn't told, and that's something that was told to him later. He needed time and help to think that through. Yeah, and telling him that he's being like his bad father is like even worse. You're guilting somebody. Like, why are people so manipulative? Like, oh, you're just being like your shitty dad. Like, oh, come on, man. Let's see. Scrolling down, I don't want to read comments to other comments. I'm gonna have to go with everyone's the asshole. Might be an unpopular opinion, but the girl took any opportunity to talk about subjects like abortion, adoption, or something like that. In a situation like this, I would also be reluctant. As someone who doesn't want children, I'd feel screwed overwhelmed, and have no idea what to do. That being said, you're also not dealing with the situation by leaving. Simply doing your duty by paying child support and not willing to engage with any conversation about the topic isn't going to solve anything. Your mom knows you're having a hard time dealing with the situation. Springing it on you like this seems manipulative, so difficult situation managed from every side. Yeah, exactly. Like, this is the first person who's kind of saying things from every side. I feel like, yeah, Reddit has this thing like, oh, now you have a kid, so you just have to do it. You just have to do these particular things. It's very one-dimensional. It's like a very one-dimensional way of thinking. I'm not sure if that's the right word. Because there are layers to everything. Not all people want to be parents. Stop forcing people to be parents. Whatever his reasons are, OP made his choice and is paying child support. Get off your damn horse, not the asshole. But he did make the choice. I feel like this is being completely ignored. OP did make a choice. And he made the choice that he didn't want to be a parent. And they're like, oh, you need to make a choice. OP makes a choice. No, you haven't made the choice. It's just saying that as long as you don't make a choice that Reddit approves of, then that's not a choice. It's a child, he should be able to relinquish his rights. But since the kid is already here, both parents need to pay for it. That's what OP is doing. And also, here's the thing. If somebody who doesn't want to be a parent is forced to be a parent, the chances of them being a bad parent are much, much higher, because like even if they try to be a good parent, there's always going to be like this resentment that they're going to feel towards that child, and that resentment is going to come out someday. So you're just like creating a situation that's going to be toxic, not just for like the person, like the parents involved, but also for the kid. There's no way a kid will be happy with a parent who's not happy to be around them. I feel like Reddit doesn't understand. Like, obviously it sucks. Like, obviously, like, I feel like OP needs to own up and be a good parent, but I'm also kind of understanding that not everybody wants to be one. Like, some people just don't want to have kids, which is fair, you know. I'm one of those people. I don't want to have kids. So, like, now I'm just thinking, like, if this was sprung on me, what would I do? Like, I would freak out. I would be like, what the fuck, bro? Like, it's really not easy. And, like, the thing is, like, we live in a society where if you decide that you don't want to be a parent, people will just jump on you with their judgment, like Reddit does. Sorry, Reddit. You all have great stories, but sometimes y'all's judgment is like, okay. Let's see, what does this person have to say? He didn't choose to be a parent. The baby mama made that decision unilaterally. Agreed. He doesn't want to be involved. He just has to meet his legal obligations. Don't force someone who doesn't want to be a parent to be a parent. It will only fuck up the kid. I'm not saying that anything bad about the baby mama, but maybe it took her a year to reach out because she was trying to find the right father. Maybe she had multiple partners, we don't know, but he didn't decide to have a baby. We don't know if they used protection and it failed. We don't know if she missed a pill. Also, that's not fair. That's not a fair way a way for him to meet his kid, even if he did want to. And I think that's the part people should focus on, not the fact that he doesn't want to be a part of his daughter's life. It's the fact that the baby mama went ahead behind his back to meet his family. Then for his family to basically fool him into meeting his daughter when he's clearly not willing or ready to do so. People are forgetting that it takes time for a bond to form, and just being your child related by blood doesn't mean anything when you haven't even bonded in the first place. Doesn't help that OP clearly doesn't want children at this time of his life. Now with the mom and grandparents pressuring and forcing OP to meet his daughter, that's not only going to breed resentment, just like a child being forced to visit a parent, someone they clearly don't like. It's only going to backfire. Yeah, I kind of agree with this whole thing here, because again, this is a very complicated situation. It's not black and white here. I think that's like the best way to explain it. It's not all black and white. It's a very complicated situation, and like I feel like OP should get that choice, like to decide what OP wants to do with their life. Like, do they want to be a parent? Do they not want to be a parent? And obviously, OP doesn't seem to mind the child being in his mom's life. Like, you know, go ahead, you can be around my family and everything, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to be a father. And OP has made that choice. I feel like we should stop judging people like based on our own morals. Like, we are like, okay, if I was in this situation, I would do this, so somebody has to do, like, the other people have to respond in the same way, because we might have very idealistic views of what we would do if we were in that situation, but that doesn't always pan out. Like, you can sit here and go like, see, if I was in that situation, I would do the right thing, but you don't know what you would actually do if you were in that situation. Thank you so much. I will drink water. So I'm gonna say either everyone's the asshole or OP is not the asshole. Like, it could go either way. Whew. Okay, let's move on to the next one. I've had my full of this story. Not full, fill. My god, what's wrong with me today? Let's look at something that's like more 24 hours. Am I the asshole for requesting therapy with just my mom? Okay, let's look at this one. Am I the asshole for requesting therapy with just my mom? Okay. My mom is engaged to Charles and he has kids, 13M, 11F, and 9F. Charles and he and his kids, 13M, 11F, and 9F, moved in with us in February. I, 16F, am the only one in the household who isn't talking about the wedding non-stop. My mom picked up on this a while ago, and she then overheard me tell my friend I just wanted it to be over and that I wasn't excited for the wedding at all. So she asked if we could talk. It was a difficult conversation. I told my mom that I wasn't totally happy about the wedding and that it had been difficult for me, with Dad, who died when I was 10, being gone, and some things that have been said. I told her I was so glad she was happy, and I know Charles helped bring her back to herself. The conversation highlighted that I don't see Charles and his kids as my family, and that I'm unsure if I'll ever consider them in that way. Some may be relevant info to some of my feelings. When Charles and his kids first moved in, he took me out for pizza and told me he doesn't want us to be a blended family. He wants us to be just a family. What does that mean? And he doesn't want to be my stepdad, he wants to be my dad. He said he would do everything for me that he does for his kids and would be there for me always. He said we could start trailing out some dad names for me to call him. I told him I already have a dad, and the sentiment was nice and all, but I wasn't going to be his stepkid. But I was going to be his stepkid. He really challenged me on why I would have only one dad and why I didn't want one. It was very uncomfortable for me. He and his kids also tagged along when Mom and I went to remember Dad on his anniversary at the diner we went to as a family. His kids talked non-stop about the wedding and we didn't actually get to talk about Dad. Then Charles declared that we'd make it a family thing every year, and even when Mom was like, let's just see, he was like, it'll be good for bonding. I don't like that at all. It was the first time where I went and did a solo thing to remember Dad because I hated every second of the diner experience. Mom wanted us to explore this in family therapy, and I asked for it to be just her and me. She was going to say no and then asked why. I told her I would open up more with just her and a therapist, and that I would rather make sure we are okay than work on trying to bond me to others right now. I told her I could see that she was hurting that I felt the way I do, and I don't want a relationship to be ruined by this. Mom agreed for therapy to be just me and her. We start next week, but Charles doesn't like that I wanted it to be just Mom and me. I think he was a little offended that I feel this way in the first place, and then to not want to include him and his kids in family therapy. My mom told him she wished it could be all of us, but she didn't want to push me away or waste money by taking us all if I would find it difficult to open up around them. Charles told me I was putting my mom in a bad place and I was selfish, and he has only ever tried to show me he loves me and will be my dad happily. think Charles is kind of seeing where OP is coming from. You can't really force your way into somebody's life and tell them that, hey, I'm your dad now. Forget about your actual father. I am your father. That has to be something that OP needs to want herself, which I don't think she does at this point. Like, losing a parent is not easy at all. And then somebody coming in and trying to replace that parent is even difficult, because it's not like Charles is giving OP a choice here. He's not like that, hey, I would love to be your dad if you would have me, but we can take our time to, get to that point. No, he's just like, I want to be your dad. I'm not going to be your stepdad. I'm going to be your dad. Which is like, bro, calm down. Like, calm down. Like, I'm not saying that there can't ever come a time where OP would accept Charles. I think, OP can definitely reach that point, but they should also give OP a chance to kind of settle into that, because obviously OP lost her dad when she was 10, and now she's 16, so it has been just her and her mom for a very long time. So just suddenly accepting this big family, because Charles comes with 3 other kids. It's not like Charles is just it's just Charles. It's 3 more kids after that. It's overwhelming to suddenly have these people come into your life and want to be a part of it. And I also don't like the fact that the 3 kids kind of tagged along on the dad's anniversary and just kept talking about the wedding, because come on, yeah. Just come on, you can be a little more sensitive to what OP is going through. I get the kids are young, 13, 11, and 9. I don't expect them to be smart about things. But then Charles needs to be smart, right? He's like, oh, we'll make it a family thing. Sir? Come on. At least, if it kind of feels like Charles is completely trying to replace OP's dad, take over anything that reminds OP of her father, that was between OP and her father. The diner was something OP, her mom, and the father did, and Charles is like, okay, but now it's gonna be our thing. I'm gonna move into this and it's gonna be our thing instead. Charles, you need to calm the fuck down. I guess his heart is in the right place, but the way he's going about it is not okay, because it kind of feels like he's just desperately trying to replace any memories of OP's actual dad, because jealousy, I don't know what it is, but yeah, the way he's going about it isn't right at all. And then for him to object to OP going to family therapy with just her mom and going oh no, I should be there, sir, give OP a chance to come to terms with her feelings. You're just and then try and guilt OP that, oh, you're making things so difficult for your mom. I feel like the mom needs to be a bit more understanding. She's definitely being more understanding, because she's okay, let's go to therapy, let's work this out and stuff. But yeah, I think mom needs to really sit down with Charles and have a talk with him, because the way he's going about all of this is really messed up. Good god, this AC today is driving me insane. The AC hasn't made any noise for the past 2 days when I wasn't streaming. Yesterday when I wasn't streaming, and the day before that, no noise at all. But today it's ha, people are here. Let me just keep speaking my piece. Oh, what are you complaining about? You've been switched off this whole time. Anyways, not the asshole. Charles needs to back off. Yeah, I know some people think I should see it as a good thing that he wants to be my dad and wants to treat me the same as his kids, and is trying to make us just a family and not a blended family. But it's stung in more ways than one, and this insistence on intruding into the time where we remember dad. Yeah. Yeah, but coolers are really bulky, and I don't have place for it in my room. My AC is just up there, and it's been working fine for years. I don't know, this month specifically, it's just been going off the rails. We called people to kind of check it out and see what's wrong with it, but they haven't come yet, because yesterday was Raksha Bandhan and they were we can only come once the festival is over. So probably next week, because it's also gonna be the weekend soon. Yeah, I just like my AC. It's a good AC. I love it. This is the AC I picked for my room. I want this one. And it's been good to me for a very long time. It's just recently. So it might be an issue. There might be an issue or something. So hopefully they'll come next week and check it out. Anyways, I don't have a window AC either, I have a split. So it's like high up on the wall. My window is blocked off. Like, I work at night, I cannot have any sunlight in my room, I would scream. Let's see. Scrolling, yeah. Not the asshole, but Charles sure is. He's tried, which is great at first, but he's not respecting your wishes, which isn't. He has kept on pushing and pushing, which is ignoring your wishes. If he had any sense about him at all, he would realize that pulling back and giving you your space is the best thing he could possibly do to try and form a legitimate relationship with you. By repeatedly trying to force it and by interjecting him and his kids into your things, all he's doing is showing that he doesn't respect your boundaries at all. For a guy who wants to be your dad, he's really struggling to act like a grown-up. Yep. Fresh air is good, but where I live, the air isn't fresh. The air is heavily polluted. I'm not looking to die here. Okay, let's see. Yeah, definitely not. Like, OP is like definitely not the asshole. Okay, like how I said it's heavily polluted, and you're like, yep, okay, I get it. Oh, Delhi. Bro, imagine going in your home to get fresh air. I mean, it's not that bad. Okay, it's kind of bad. It's kind of bad. Oh. Can't be me. Yeah. Yeah, okay, anyways, conclusion, OP is not being the asshole. Charles, though. Charles, you're on thin fucking ice. Let's move on, shall we? See, the thing with my AC is that usually I don't have much of an issue with it, like, doesn't give me trouble. The issue is that my mic is like kind of like a cheap one, so it kind of picks up every single sound in my room, like every sound. So when it does that, you can hear everything. I have to change my mic. It's probably gonna happen like in October. Hopefully I can get a new one, and that should like make things much better. But yeah. Okay, what's this? Let's check this one out. Ooh, this is a long one, guys. I'm gonna drink some water and then we're gonna start. Okay. Let's see. Am I the asshole for telling my mom that my special needs brother is not my responsibility? Backstory. I, 28F, have been living with my mom for the last few years because she convinced me that it would be great for me to save money on rent and eventually buy a house. The reality of that ended up being that she wanted me to be a live-in babysitter when she didn't feel like dealing with my now 15-year-old special needs brother. My brother's very low functioning, he isn't toilet trained and communicates in few sentences too. My mom has always been lazy with his care. She stopped taking him to school and his therapies for speech, life skills, etc. around the time of the pandemic. She slowly stopped taking him for years before this and would never follow through with making sure he kept up with what he was supposed to be learning. Even the therapists would tell her to spend more time with teaching him how to do certain things to help set him up for to be a bit more independent, but my mom just gives up when things get hard and assumes he won't be able to do them. She's a stay-at-home mom and all she does is watch TV and play games on her phone all day and make excuses. Lately, she's been booking vacations with my stepdad and leaving him with me without advance notice, and not even considering the fact that I would have to take off work to watch him without any compensation from her. She feels as though I don't pay rent, I have student loans and tons of other bills, that I don't need to get paid to watch him. Watching him is a job in itself. He can't do anything for himself, so I basically have to be a CNA, a nanny, etc. My long-distance boyfriend of 4 years found me my dream job offer close to where he lives and set everything up so that I can move there. My mom is furious and says it's a bad idea if I leave, and went on a rant about me following after a man, which is funny because she's done the same thing multiple times. Anyways, we got into a heated argument and I pointed out that the only reason she doesn't want me to leave is because I provide her with free childcare. At first, she swore that that wasn't it, but then told me that I'm being selfish by leaving and taking care of my brother is an all hands on deck situation. I forgot to mention that my stepdad, his father, who lives with her but works a 9 to 5 an hour away. He works from home 2 days out of the week and gets home around 6 on other days. And my oldest brother, who works from home 38 am, lives 10 minutes away, so she's not alone. She just rather me do the heavy lifting. After telling her that I'm making a decision to take this job and move forward with my life, she's being absolutely horrible towards me and acting as if I betrayed my family. I told her that even though I'm happy to help out sometimes, he's not my child and I can't put my life on hold to watch him when you decide to you don't feel like dealing with him. Okay, that's a weird sentence. Am I the asshole? Edit. Wow, thank you for the responses, but I want to clear some things up. Firstly, while she is lazy, she isn't neglectful. She does make sure he's fed after he goes to the bathroom and is cleaned up, etc. My issue is that when she feels like she deserves a break, it gets pushed on me without asking if I'm up to it. It's like, here it's your turn, I'm tired, and if you complain, you're being a terrible, ungrateful child, etc, etc. So yes, I agree there is a lot of emotional manipulation that I didn't speak up on earlier, which allowed her to continue this behavior and entitlement. I 100% accept my responsibility in not creating boundaries, but to be clear, he's not being neglected, she's just a lazy mom. She does the work but complains the entire time and feels like it's our burden to share. It's as if she sees me as a third parent, which explains her reaction to me moving. I do feel guilty about leaving. I now know that I shouldn't, but that needed to be said after all the CPS comments. Okay, first of all, there's this weird thought that came into my mind, right? So OP's brother, who lives 10 minutes away and works from home, is not expected to look after the 15-year-old. I don't know how to differentiate between the two, right? It doesn't seem like the mother expecting him to do it. Like, why doesn't she tell him to move back home since he lives 10 minutes away, works from home? And I'm not saying working from home is easy. I work from home. I know it's like really like tiring. It can be really, really tiring, but you're not expecting him to do this, but you're expecting OP to do it. Like, OP to just stay at this house forever and ever, take care of the younger brother and not like really have a life outside of it. Like, what was the mom planning to do if OP decided to get married someday? Would the mom be like, okay, you can get married, but you and your husband have to move into this house and stay with us? Like, the mom just assumed OP would just stay there forever and just do this for her? I don't understand. And the fact that OP is not taking the younger brother to his speech therapies and basically all the things that are supposed to help him be more independent is like very telling. I mean, I'm not sure if that's the right word here, but it's like, it shows that she kind of doesn't care. Like, she's doing this because he's her son, but she's like, okay, I'm gonna do the bare minimum, but nothing beyond that. Kind of, I mean, OP saying that the mom doesn't neglect him, but it also feels like she's just doing the bare minimum, which is like really messed up. And if the mom, you sure we are not losing brain cells every industry? It's okay, I never had any brain cells to lose. And the thing is, if the mom is having such a hard time dealing with the younger brother, then she should actually get a nanny. But you're like, oh no, obviously you just want free labor from your daughter. Let's see. Now the asshole, move away and build a life for yourself. Your mother wants you to do whatever she wants, and any comments about family are a cover for this. Not the asshole. It's so sad that this happens so often. You aren't put on this planet to take care of anyone else you choose to, that is, have children. Your mother is taking advantage of you, that much is clear. But she can't expect you to look after your brother, who honestly sounds like he needs special qualified care and shouldn't be his sister's burden. By saying you could move in to save money makes me assume that she didn't expect you to pay rent. So using that in the argument is just manipulation tactics as well. I have negative brain cells and now it's getting worse. It's fine, you'll survive. Think of it as this way, right? Think of it like this. Yes, I am stupid, but I will never be as stupid as the people in this post. See? It'll just make your day better, like, yay! Yeah, definitely not the asshole in this situation. Mom's like being very manipulative. very, very manipulative and also like very irresponsible with the way she's going about her son's care. Like, I feel bad for OP, but I also feel bad for the kid because like he's stuck with somebody who just kind of sees him as a burden, which isn't like fair to him. So basically it's a confidence boosting stream. Yeah, exactly. Anyways, let's move on. Okay, we did mothers, let's look at dads. Oh, 15k upvotes. Oh god, I want to read this. Am I the asshole for telling my dad he doesn't get to talk about my period? No, you're not. I can just say that off the bat, you're not. I, 16F, have made it really awkward to be around my dad, 46M, and have probably ruined my relationship with him. I know I'm kind of young to be on Reddit, but I need help. I'm currently on my period and only use pads because tampons make me uncomfortable, which is fair, definitely fair. In January, my family got a dog. Not really a fan of dogs, but I tolerate her. When I replace a pad, I wrap it up in a toilet paper or wrap it in a wrapper of the new pad and seal it closed with the little tape still on the wrapper. This has never been a problem until we got a dog. She likes going into the bathroom and taking my used pads out of the trash and ripping them apart. Good God. The last couple of months, I have had to chase her around the house and clean up ripped apart pads, but it's never really bothered the rest of the family as long as I'm the one cleaning them up. Is this dog not trained? Like, I had a dog, my dog never did anything like that. I had like the chillest dog in the world, so. Today the dog got to a pad I had thrown away earlier this morning. I caught her and threw the pad back in the trash and closed the bathroom door so she couldn't get to the trash again. While I was in my bedroom, my dad confronted me about it. He told me that the dog kept getting my pads out of the trash and that it was a problem. I was confused and asked him what he wanted me to do about it, since the only way to dispose of a pad is to throw it away. He told me he wanted me to grow the fuck up and start using tampons. What the hell? I was horrified. I told him I was not comfortable with tampons and that he didn't get to talk about my period. He asked why not. I was speechless and had no idea what to say and started crying from embarrassment and shock and shut my bedroom door. What the hell is wrong with this dad? Like, how? Listen, I'm all for accepting dogs as family because I love pets, okay? I love pets. I loved my dog. She was like family to me. But you're really going to prioritize the dog over your own daughter? What the hell is wrong with you? Train your dog. God damn. My mom, 47F, is currently in Florida visiting family, but she was my last resort. I'll copy and paste the exact message I sent her. Tell dad to stay in his own fucking lane and leave me alone because he just told me I had to grow up and start using tampons so the dog would stop eating my pads. He doesn't get to say that to me. It's not fair. I can't help that my uterus sheds every month and I go through some almost unbearable pain, and his only remark is that I have to grow up and use something I'm not comfortable with. I know it sounds a bit bratty, but I was crying my eyes out and I had no idea. She was furious with him. She texted him back saying it was inappropriate that he had said that to me and that it was a total dick move on his part and it wouldn't happen again. I have no idea what she texted him, but I haven't seen or talked to him since. I think he's mad at me for bringing my mom into this and I don't know how to confront him. Am I the asshole? Update. Thank you all for much advice and being so understanding in the comments. I've scrolled through quite a bit and a lot of people are asking how using tampons would fix the situation and why using tampons is a sign of me growing up. Yeah, okay, so here's the thing. I don't know how tampons work exactly. I've never used one. I've stuck to pads my whole life. It's where I feel most comfortable. But wouldn't you dispose of a tampon the same way you dispose of a pad? Wouldn't that also go in the dustbin? And if it went in the dustbin, wouldn't the dog still go after it? I'm so confused. Hello. Okay. Both my mom and twin sister use tampons and flush them. Oh. I'm the only one in this house that currently uses pads, as my 8-year-old sister obviously doesn't have a period. You do, they go in the trash, you can't flush them. Apparently, these people do. He thinks that flushing tampons out of the toilet is normal and that I just need to grow up and start using tampons like my twin. Update 2. Thank you all so much for even more supportive comments and suggestions. And I told my mom that I caved and posted on Reddit and that everyone suggested getting a trash bin with a lid, and she agreed. When she returns from Florida tomorrow, she will get a bin with a lid. The only reason my dad isn't buying the trash bin today and solving the problem quicker is because my mom doesn't want him to get an ugly one. What? You're not supposed to flush them. Clog the bathroom, Pog. Okay. This might be a weird question to ask, but do people not understand how periods work exactly? I often see posts about people making comments about things, and like most of the time, like their takes are so bad, and you just have to sit there and think like, bro, do you know what this is? Like, do you know what you're talking about? I mean, I don't know. I'm not gonna explain it to anybody in this stream. That's not my place to do. Yeah, they should understand it though, because at one point in your life, like depending on your preference, you might have a wife. She's gonna go through it. And if you ever have kids, you might have a daughter and she's gonna go through it. So are you just gonna be ignorant about it? Because this guy seems very ignorant, and he's just like, you know what? Just train your damn dog. It's like that simple. Firstly, it's gross as heck, and the fact that OP like has to deal with it is also really messy. But the fact that the family ignored the situation completely, like how hard is it to train a dog? I'm very confused. Like, why can't they do that? Just train the damn dog. I'm sorry, dog. I'm sure you're trying your best, but get trained. We just assume that what we see is right. So yeah, you all shouldn't do that. I would highly recommend reading up on this. It might seem gross at first, but it would help you in the future, especially when it comes to like, you know, if you ever have kids, if you ever have a daughter or like a wife or anything for that matter, just basically anybody who goes through a period, because it would help you be more supportive if you understand. Men aren't educated on it unless they go into gynecology, but they really should get educated and learn. Yeah, exactly. Good God. It's so messy. Like, what's wrong with this dad? And the fact that he's still pouting about it just being a baby. You're a 46-year-old man. Grow the fuck up. Like, how can you tell your child to grow up when you yourself can't do it? Like, you're like, oh, you know, I don't understand where you're coming from, so I'm gonna be angry about it. Like, you hurt my feelings by telling your mom. Good God, what's wrong with this man? See, if you are educated on these situations, on these things, like, you know, these aspects of a woman's life, you will know how to handle it better. And you won't end up like this dad over here. Good God. Not the asshole. I'm a woman in my 40s and I still use pads. If I grow up anymore, I'll be legit dead. My son's girlfriend put a pad in the trash and I got up one morning and the dog had gotten it out. You know what I did? Threw it out before she noticed and got a goddamn trash bin with a lid for that bathroom. You know what I didn't do? Blame a young person because I didn't think ahead and do that in the first place. Okay, I have another question. Why do I read so many stories about the dog getting into the bathroom? Do you all not lock your bathroom? But like, listen, when I had my dog, she never went anywhere near the bathroom. Like, she would come into our rooms, of course, but she didn't go into the bathroom or anything like that. We never had this situation, so I'm just really confused. Do you all not lock your bathroom or something? Some trash cans don't have lids on them. I've seen them, but I personally prefer the ones with the lid because it, like, you know, it can get pretty smelly after a time and I don't like that, so I prefer the ones with the lid. Train your dog. Good God. First of all, not the asshole, but more relevant, you can't flush tampons. If you use tampons, the dog would probably still go in the garbage for them. So what's the difference? If he expects you to flush the tampons, he should expect to pay thousands in plumbing bills. Exactly. But you should make an effort to keep your door closed. Talk to your mom about maybe getting a garbage can that locks. Not only because your dad's behavior is in any way okay, but you wouldn't be expected to chase the dog with your pads if they can't get to them. Yeah. That's weird. Like, my dog never went into the bathroom when we were in the I never had that situation. I've seen so many posts about, pets opening the door and stuff when you're in the bathroom, and I'm just like, do you all not lock it when you're using it? Or after using it for that matter? Like, I would just freak out if the door isn't locked. I'm just saying. But yeah, definitely not the asshole. Dad needs to get a grip though. Like, what's wrong with you, sir? That's why I don't have dogs. I mean, like, I loved my dog a lot. Like, she was the best. But again, it also depends on how you train your dog. This dog clearly hasn't been trained, so that's why, like, this situation is happening. Just train your dog, and voila. Solution. You won't face this problem again. Anyways, let's move on. Why do we have so much period stuff happening here today? Bathrooms are only locked from the inside. You can only really lock it while you're inside. Oh, is that so? Like, we have a lock outside too, that's why. We're not gonna do another one on periods though. Like, one is enough, I think. Oh god, what is this? It's happened to me once. I went to take a shower and then just couldn't open the door because my sister locked it from outside. And I was, I think, in there for like an hour or so, like more than an hour, and I was just like, what the fuck? Oh my god. Okay, am I the asshole for asking my dad to argue with his wife somewhere other than his deceased ex-wife's house? Sometime after I became 17 years old, my parents got a divorce because my father was cheating on my mom with a much younger woman. I will call her Sarah since I don't want to use her real name. After the divorce happened, my father moved out and started living with Sarah and got married with her without telling me and my brother. My father did not know that me and my brother knew about his infidelity. This detail will be important later on. I am now 27 years old and recently lost my mother around 10 months ago, in what could be the most horrible experience of my life, spending a month and a half in a hospital taking care of her only to lose her in the end. This is an experience I will never forget and has scarred me for the rest of my life since I had a very close relationship with my mom. My bond with my father wasn't as close as he didn't try to reinforce the relationship with me ever since I was born. He assumed the money provider role and wasn't interested in me or my brother's life. When my mom died, my father tried to establish a bond with me and my brother. He let me stay in his house a couple of months since staying in my mother's house was traumatizing for me, and helped me with funeral procedures and hereditary process after the death of my mom. Eventually, I had to leave the house since I was being treated like a useless child and I had responsibilities like to attend as an adult, like managing my job. Sarah was especially uncomfortable with my presence since she didn't understand why I was grumpy all the time, as if I hadn't lost my mother recently. I eventually moved back to my mother's house to attend to my job and had to finish any unfinished business my mother left behind. Okay, hold on. I feel like a sneeze is coming. Yeah. A month passed after that and everything was starting to calm down. I started to accept my father little by little until one day my father contacted me to hang out. When we went out to dinner, he told me that he had an argument with Sarah, saying that he was quite angry with her and insulting her, calling her a toxic woman. I told him if he wanted to sleep that night at my mom's house, and he accepted. We had a pretty relaxing evening, but the next morning Sarah appeared at my doorstep and invited herself in without my consent. She asked where my father was and closed herself in the same room as my father to argue. I was pretty furious.
Bonjour, you fucking ass!
Oh, Wendy. Oh god, anyways. Oh, Travelier. Wouldn't gliding be faster? I can't do the accent. We had a pretty relaxed evening. Okay, the next morning, Sarah showed up. I was pretty furious, and when they got out of the bedroom, I asked them not to argue in my mom's house. They got mad at my request, telling me that they took me in when I needed it. I guess they assumed I was kicking them out of the house, but I made sure to make my request as polite as possible. When they left the house, my father called my brother and told him he would no longer support me and him, that we were on our own from now. My brother revealed to him that we knew that Sarah was his lover and that's why I asked them that. There is more context to be added. I will see if I can add more context, but so far, am I the asshole? Not really. Like, why would you go to somebody's house and start fighting over there? Like, I don't get that at all. But sure. Like, imagine breaking into somebody's house without their permission and just start fighting with them. Like, fighting with somebody else. And then go like, oh, you're kicking us out. Yeah, the dad is an asshole. What the fuck? See, this is what I'm saying. Some people should just not be parents. Like this guy. He was never meant to be a parent. He's a bad parent. Now, the asshole, your father and his partner had a lot of nerve bringing the drama into your deceased mother's house. As if having the affair and leaving her wasn't enough disrespect, I suppose he realized, which is why he became so defensive and lashed out. But this is an action of an immature, selfish person. Dad cheated on mom, left mom for other women, got married to other women. Mother recently, that was a few years ago. OP is now an adult. Mother passed away a little while ago. Dad tried to reconnect with OP and OP's brother and allowed them to stay at his house until they had all the funeral stuff taken care of. Then dad one day stayed over at OP's house, which was also OP's mother's house, and started fight. And then his wife showed up the next day. They started fighting with each other in the mother's house, and OP was like, "Can you all not do this here?" Because that's disrespectful to his mother, especially since, like, you know, the dad cheated on the mother. I'm not sure if I'm explaining this in the best way possible, but yeah. Yeah, it's also the dad's problem. Like, he could have also handled this. Both of them are cringe. Both of them are assholes. Like, first, I don't understand people who cheat. And also, after cheating, do you not have, like, any, like, just, like, any guilt whatsoever of what you did? Not the asshole, he's got his own home to argue in. Totally fair request on your part. You're totally right. I don't know if I invited them to argue at my mom's house when I invited my father to spend the night there. Also, it kind of feels like the father only reached out to OP after, like, because he wanted a place to stay, because, like, he reached out to OP like, "Hey, you wanna hang out with me and get some dinner?" After he fought with Sarah, and then he just started complaining about Sarah to gain sympathy, and OP was like, "Okay, fine, you know, you wanna stay at my place for the night?" And he was like, "Oh, thank you," because I think he was just like, "You know, I let you stay at my house when you in your time of need, even though I am your father, and it's basically very normal for me to do that, but now in my time of need, I want you to do the same for me." It kind of feels like that. OP and Sarah are assholes. OP not so much. Let's see. Is there anything interesting? Okay, what's this about? Am I the asshole for calling my 30M wife, 35F, a spoiled brat? My wife 35F and I 35M have been together for 10 years, married 5. We grew up completely different. She's the only child of a surgeon father. Her mother died when she was 2, and it was her and her father for most of her life. He remarried when she was 17. He's wealthy, sent her to private school, paid for her college, and when we met a decade ago, he was still paying her rent, even though she had a solid job. I come from a poor family, but we both have pretty good jobs and make around the same amount of money now. She is such a daddy's girl, and it's been affecting our relationship. Anytime she wants or needs something, she goes to her dad first, and sometimes it's about things I could help with. I work in tech, and back when we started dating, she was starting grad school, and she asked her dad, "What laptop should I get?" I told her I actually work in the same field, which she already knew, and could easily answer that and get her what she needs, and she kind of just shrugged. Okay, fine. Things have happened throughout the last decade, but there have been bigger issues recently. Last year she decided she wants a new car. I disagreed. Her car is fine and she works from home and barely drives. She was adamant though. About a month later she tells me she's getting a new car. I told her we need to make decisions together and share finances, and this is a major purchase. She says, oh, my dad is buying it. He said we can just sell mine and get some extra money. I told her it's kind of ridiculous to ask her dad to buy her a brand new car when she has a perfectly good one and we don't need it anyways. She got upset and said it's not that big of a deal and her dad doesn't mind, and that the car wasn't that expensive anyways. She said I'm overreacting and that it's okay for her dad to do nice things for her. She got a brand new 2022 car completely paid for by her dad, and we sold her old one. Now we are buying a new house. We finally narrowed it down to 2 options. We were discussing it last week and my wife says, oh, I don't think house A is good. My dad said he thinks we could do a lot better in our budget. Before she talked to her dad, she loved house A. So I got a bit frustrated and said it didn't matter what her dad thought because this is our family home and he won't be living there. She got angry. We started arguing. We both said mean things. I called her a spoiled brat and said she needed to grow up, and she got upset and slept in the guest room, and has been for a few days. And we've barely spoken. She said I was so mean to her. Boy, this is weird. She's definitely very spoiled because like she's lived her whole life not having to do much because like her father's been supporting her whole life, like paying for school and college is pretty normal, but then paying for her rent when she has a pretty well-paying job and all that is weird. Like she's definitely spoiled. Though hear me out though, just hear me out. I didn't think the car thing was that big of a deal because she wanted a new car, he got it for her, like fine, like my parents do these things for their kids. The house thing though, that's like a shared thing, like that's a house where you and your partner are gonna live, so it has to be like both your decisions, not the dad's decision, not anybody else's, but yours, about what you want your house to be like and all that stuff. So I definitely think that's like a place where she's wrong. She's like a complete daddy's girl, like her dad's girl, like whatever her dad says she listens to him, because she's also like, if I want a new laptop I'll ask my dad for it. You sure about it? See, listen, I don't judge people for these kind of things because everyone's brought up with different values, right? So I won't judge her for that thing, but I will ask her to grow up a bit and have her own opinions. Because see, I don't know a lot about tech, so I asked my friend who knows about it, like exactly what I can get, and he'll give me some suggestions. I'll look into it myself and then I'll make my decision. Like he won't tell me, okay, buy that. He'll give me suggestions and then I'll look into that. Here, she just does whatever her dad says. So I can see where OP's frustrated in this situation because like again, it's their house and she's like making decisions based on what her dad thinks, because they narrowed it down to this one house that they both loved, and now she's suddenly like, oh no, I don't love this house anymore, let's get something else, which is like basically you have to go house hunting again, which is never easy. House hunting can take days, it's extremely annoying. You have to go house hunting, then you have to find a house that not only your wife will like, but also her father will like. Like, why does the dad get a say in this? So yeah, OP's definitely not the asshole. The wife kind of needs to grow up and, have her own opinions about things. Which is weird, like, because she's like, she's just doing whatever her dad wants, which is, that's not good, especially, if you ever want to start a family. Because, okay, so if you have a kid, then will you make decisions for that kid, like about which school they go to and all that kind of stuff based on what your father wants? And I have a feeling, since the father said that, he doesn't like house A, there's also a high chance that when it comes to buying the house, he might say that, oh, I'll buy the house for you, which is not good at all. I feel like she looked up a house which is much more like way out of their budget, and she was like, okay, I want this house instead. And like she's just kind of like easing her way into it. Like she says that, oh, my dad doesn't think it's that great of a house, and then she'll be like, oh, this house is actually pretty good, what do you think? Like slowly trying to reel OP into that decision, and then she'll just go like, oh, you know what, my dad can pay for it, which like, ma'am, no. You're the asshole. You sound super insecure about her father. Take a moment to reflect. You're on Reddit complaining she asked her dad for advice on a laptop. You're jealous. That's all there is to it, and it's pathetic. Instead of worrying about her relationship with her father and calling her names, why aren't you using rich father-in-law to your advantage? Like, you actually started a fight over her getting a new car neither of you had to pay for. Just insane. Oh, damn. Yeah, see, I don't really care about the car thing because, like, here's the thing. Maybe I'm the asshole for thinking this way, or I'm spoiled or whatever. But if my partner was like, hey, my dad bought me a new car, I'd be like, okay, cool. At least I didn't have to pay for it. I'm cool with that. Like, that's your relationship with your parent, and I'm fine with that. It's just the house thing I would have a problem with because, again, I would want my house to be my house. It's a place that I like and my partner likes, and like, not somebody, and we're not influenced by somebody else. But yeah, the whole laptop thing and stuff is like kind of weird because, okay, she took advice about a laptop from her father. Like, that's not really a big deal, is it? Like, to mention it that too. Like, oh, I remember years ago you took advice from your father about a laptop instead of asking me, which is like, okay. Is that really that big of a deal? It's a laptop, bro. It was advice. Like, I'm not gonna interfere with someone's relationship with their parent, but the house thing I would be a little like not on board with because, again, I want my house to be my house, if that makes sense. Let us scroll down. You're the asshole. OP has been with her for 10 years and now he's noticing that she's a brat. As long as she's not asking OP to pay for, what does it matter where the legal money comes from? Also, it's not important to get advice for important things like a house or some other things that are done once in a while. OP has inferiority complex to her father. But she doesn't run to him for everything, right? OP didn't give one example where she was really out of line. She asked her father for advice on what laptop to buy when they were starting their relationship, and he calls this an issue. So she can't ask anything to her dad because it is an issue. Then he says he wants both of them to have discussions about the things, but when she comes to him, he shuts her down. She said she needs a car, and he said she doesn't. Where is the discussion there? If both are making good money, I don't even understand what the problem is. But it seems she realized he wouldn't budge on the budget and she wanted a car, so she told her dad, and basically she just got a new car without spending anything. Why is that a problem? If the father said he would loan them money or something, but nope, he paid for the difference for the new car. Then they got to this house and she seems to like it, talks to her dad, and he says that they can do better. He didn't say the house is bad, he just said they could do better, basically financial advice. It seems she respects her rich dad's financial advice. What a shocker. OP could have had a more mature discussion with her, but instead he told her he doesn't care what her father thinks because he won't be living there. How is that mature? I don't know, but if I'm making a big purchase, I would actually appreciate advice from people that care about me. Her father clearly cares about her, so instead of getting all mad, he could have had a discussion as to why he says that, and together they could decide if they buy it or not. But instead he called her a brat, and I say he is the brat. Usually when people hear complaining about mommy's boys, they're complaining about guys that basically insert their mom in every discussion and egg them against their wife. She didn't do that. She told her father about a major life decision and she took the advice. She didn't call the dad to tell her husband he's an idiot for buying that house. He doesn't respect her because she relies on him. Like, she's not mature enough, and to me he's the one with the issue. If you have a rich parent that likes to spoil you even though you make good money yourself, why wouldn't you let them? How is that financially sound? The father doesn't seem to have strings attached to things that he does for her, so what is the problem? I mean, it could be OP forgot to mention all the time the father all the times the father really butt in, but it doesn't seem likely. For me, the laptop issue says everything. Okay, yeah, okay, this comment kind of really does bring a lot of things to attention. I didn't think of that before. But yeah, it does seem like the OP has some issues with the dad personally. Like he might feel some kind of jealousy for the dad, because yeah, the laptop issue was a weird thing to mention. Definitely seeing this in a different light, because it's not like she's running to her father and like complaining about OP or anything. It's not like the dad's stepping in to their life and like making the decision for them, nor is he fighting with OP or anything like that. He's just giving advice. So there's no need to kind of blow up about it, because he just said that you could do better, so you could just ask like how, like what is wrong with this house, like just find out what's wrong with the house first before you blow up. And here's the thing, I'm gonna say one thing, and I feel a bit strongly about that. I don't think just because people are married, they should share their finances. Like, I don't know, it just feels very weird to me. Like, yeah, obviously you can have a joint account, but you should also have your own separate finances. Because if you only have one source, like with your money, like, I've seen many cases where people have ended up separating, and like one of the spouses would try to get all the money from the shared account. So I don't feel like you should share your finances. Just like, you keep what you earn, he keeps what he earns, and you can have like a joint account where you like collect things like rent. Like, so you're paying half the rent, he's paying half the rent, and like the other living expenses like that go in that one account, but the rest of the money, keep it separate. That's how I feel about that. I don't know, like I don't think that's everyone's mindset on these things, but yeah, I would say that don't share finances. It can end really badly. Yeah, and honestly, I'll be real, if my dad were rich, I'd let him pay for a lot of things too if he wanted, just saying. But you should have a separate account and a joint account in a marriage. Yeah. Like, share the expenses of living, like food, all that stuff, like rent if you're paying for rent and all those things. But otherwise, keep your finances separate. You're the asshole. You need marriage counseling to deal with both your issues. This is a great way to lose your marriage otherwise. Deal with your issues instead of hurting your wife. You show nothing but mild contempt to your wife here. Yeah, I slowly, like, the more I read about this, I feel like I can't be on OP's side, because like 3 incidents are really not enough to go like, oh, my father-in-law is ruining my marriage, because like the one ruining the marriage is you, OP. I mean, again, people have different values that they grow up with. Like, the wife clearly grew up with like a very supportive parent, so she's used to that. She's used to her father being supportive, and her father's been supportive without really asking for anything in return. OP isn't used to that. So I feel like OP is kind of projecting, and I feel like these issues will only kind of get out of hand in the future as long as OP doesn't deal with this. Because imagine they have a kid one day and the grandfather brings an expensive gift for the kid. He doesn't think it's expensive, he just thinks that it's a nice gift, and then OP is gonna be like, oh my god, how dare your father get that for us. Like, it's just gonna be problems all around. So OP definitely needs to deal with whatever issue he has with his wife and like her relationship with her dad. I don't know, man. I don't feel like OP's, like the wife, is doing anything that bad. Damn, the way my mindset just completely changed after a few comments. Usually I don't agree with the Reddit comments because like sometimes they can just be out there. But yeah, with these I can definitely see their point of view and like the wife's point of view in these things as well. Because yeah, these are just like 3 issues, out of which 2 aren't even that big of a deal. Like, oh my god, you got a free car? How dare you? Like, I'm just saying it, if I was in OP's place and my partner got a free car, I'd be just like, yes, this is a win for my family. I would just see that as a win. And advice about a laptop again is not that big of a deal. So yeah, I don't know, OP, I feel like you're stretching here. Okay, so I'm gonna pass my judgment based on what I think. I'm gonna say OP's being the asshole here. Get a grip. You're a grown man. Just like this dynamic is not gonna change. Just get a grip. Go to therapy. Sort this out. Oh my god. The way my mind just went like, oh, wait, okay. Anyways, I feel like I should start wrapping things up here. I go to work in a few hours and I need to do a bit of prepping. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so that was fun. Like to a certain degree, I guess. Like there was like, again, like I said before, like whenever I read these Reddit threads, right, I always feel like that, at least I'm not this stupid. And like I feel like some things really do shock me because of like the cultural differences. Because again, what may be normal there is not normal like where I live, and there are a lot of situations that I've never even heard of. So yeah, there's like a lot of like, you know, you see these differences as well, so it's very interesting. I find it interesting. But yeah. What should next week's topic be? What do you guys think? We did weddings, we did sibling drama, we did family drama. What else kind of drama is there? Friend drama? Shall we do friendship next time? See what kind of nonsense friends are getting up to on Reddit. Yeah, I think that could be interesting. Or do we do relationship stuff only? Like girlfriend and boyfriend? Like my boyfriend did that and all that. Let me know. Both of them sound interesting. But yeah, let's see. We'll figure it out whenever next week comes around. Tomorrow's stream might be delayed. It really depends. Basically, what I'll do is I'm gonna whenever I do wake up, let's do relationships. Okay, Sue asked for relationships, and since Sue is the best, we'll do relationships. But we're not gonna do, okay, let's do married couples as well. Yeah, let's do married couples as well. Not weddings specifically, just married couples and relationships. Right. So yeah, tomorrow is my day off from work, but I have to go out in the morning because I have some work to take care of. I'm just explaining stuff here because I do democracy. No, this is not a democracy, sweetheart. This is not democracy. This is a dictatorship, and I am the ruler. In short, Sue is the ruler because whatever Sue says goes. But I am the ruler. But yeah, so tomorrow again, my shift for work usually starts at around 4 a.m. and I finish by 11 a.m. and then I have to go out tomorrow for some work. So I will come back and sleep a bit later than usual, like most likely. Yeah, it depends when I get to sleep. And yeah, after that, the stream might happen after 12 a.m. depending just on that. So obviously I'll let you guys know. You early morning work, yeah, I know. This is temporary because I have to kind of match my time with my trainer. After that I go to my usual working hours, and again, stream timings will change then as well because I might do earlier streams or like super early morning streams. It just depends. I'll let you guys know, of course, like whichever works best for me. But yeah, tomorrow's stream is definitely going to be later then. it really depends on when I wake up, and I can't really give you a certain time right now because I don't know when I'll get home. So anyways, that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm gonna see if I can add more redeems before the stream. Like, let's see. Why not take a break for 1 or 2 weeks? I mean, from streaming, I can't take a break from work. But I don't want to take a break from streaming either because like I do enjoy it. This is like very fun for me. It's like a nice way to unwind and just have fun. That's why I like to have like, again, that's like, you know, that's why I keep my streams as chill as possible. So yeah, it's fun for me. That's why I don't take a break. But yeah, again, on days when I can't stream, I don't stream. Yeah, we'll do that. I kept it a bit higher just because there are certain things I find embarrassing, but I was like, okay, you know what, I'll do it. And also I didn't want like a lot of spamming, but yeah, I'll redeem the price for some of the redeems. Anyways, guys, that's it for today. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you had fun, even if it was at the cost of your brain cells. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye.